Chrissy just posted her and John's new baby girl, Esty. Have you had a chance to meet baby Esty, or have you talked to John at all?
I haven't had a chance to speak to John or Chrissy since they had the new baby. But we did have a dinner. We had the 4 coaches from last season had a dinner last year just before the holidays, just like a final, like, hey, this has been a blast, and we didn't get to have Chrissy there because it was like she was on like alert, like this could happen at any time, you know. So I know how excited they are, and so happy for them. I'm jealous. It's just such a beautiful baby, and so happy for them.
Yeah, I love how close you guys all are. Yeah. Okay, so let's get into Ole Red.
Okay.
Set the scene for me. What are we here for? What are we celebrating? And what can we expect?
You know, I think for a couple of years now, maybe even 3 years, we've been in talks with each other, you know, about the possibility of an Ole Red expanding into Las Vegas, and you know, we were getting close, and then COVID happened, and just like everybody has the same story. But now we finally were able to turn a corner, and here we are, you know, doing the official shovel groundbreaking, and this thing's off and running. I got to tell you, I'm super impressed. The plan is to have this thing opened by this fall sometime, and that's so exciting to me to know how long it's been, you know, and we've been in talks about this, and to have a location here in Las Vegas. I think it's a perfect place for an Ole Red, to be honest with you, because you know, there's so many country music fans come here, and there's not always country music available. I know there's residencies and stuff, but now there will be a place on the Strip that's the country music home, you know, 7 days a week here in Las Vegas with live music all the time, and so I'm super excited about that.
So you kind of answered this, but what can your fans expect?
Well, you know, I think at this point, a lot of country music fans have been to one of the Ole Red locations at some point, so they kind of understand, you know, the vibe there, which is, you know, yeah, some good food and plenty of drinks, but we're really all about what's happening on that stage all the time. I mean, there's music on the stage at Ole Red from the time the doors open till they close, and I can't think of any other venue like that, and we're super proud of that because we wanted it to be about the artists that are performing there and giving them a platform, and that's why it's been a great partnership for me all along, and being a coach on The Voice all these years. You know, one of the problems, you know, with when a season ends is, hey man, that was great, what do we do now, you know, and so The Voice is, I mean, so Ole Red has been a great stepping stone for artists that, you know, exiting The Voice so many times you can come and find them playing at one of the Ole Reds, sometimes as early as the next couple of weeks after they've been on national television, you know, and it's great. It's been an awesome home for a lot of different artists.
You mentioned The Voice. After a decade, you're entering your final season.
Mm-hmm.
When you look back, can you remember what it was like when the show was first pitched to you, and did you ever expect it to be as successful as it's been?
The first time I was pitched The Voice, I thought it was the stupidest idea I've ever heard in my life. I mean, that's the truth. I just thought, well, what the hell is this? Like a combination of, you know, Wheel of Fortune and music, like these spinning chairs. What is that, you know? And my manager, you know, he wouldn't let it go, and thank God, because he just said, just watch this DVD, and he had a DVD of the Holland version of The Voice, which is where it came from. And I watched it, and I thought, okay, that does look super fun. I got to admit, you know, as goofy as the idea is, it looks like it could work, you know. And so I remember asking my manager at the time, I was like, well, who else is doing this? And the first name that he said was Christina Aguilera, and I remember going, okay, I'm in. I mean, I've heard of her. I mean, who am I to say no? I was nobody, you know, and to know that she had already signed on, I was like, I want to work at that level, so I'm in. And thank God, you know, I didn't let my stupidity get in the way of what ended up being the best decision maybe I've ever made in my life, you know.
How has it changed your life?
Well, I met my wife, you know, at The Voice, which is, you know, the greatest thing that I'll take away. Completely changed my career and the trajectory. You know, I was a country artist that was having some hits on the radio and having some success, and things were going great. But, you know, to step into that role on The Voice and right when it was taking off and to be a part of that, it just took my career to a level that I didn't even know was possible for me, and it completely changed my life in that way too. Not to mention just, you know, so many friends, so many memories, and just things that I'll cherish for the rest of my life.
You've said that you're stepping back a little bit to focus on family. You're
Yeah.
a stepdad now.
Yeah.
I want to know how that title has changed your perspective on life.
You know, I think being a stepdad has changed my perspective in that I'm not the first person that I think about anymore, you know, and it's like, even to the smallest little things, when you go, I think I'll do this, the very next thought is always, well, wait a minute, how's that going to work, or what will they think, or how will that affect a schedule, or you know. And so I think the only way for me to really to do that right is to step away from being committed to something that like The Voice that demands a lot of your time. There's no way around it. If you're going to do it and do it right, you have to be 150% in. And I just feel like you know, those days are behind me for now. I got a more important job.
Now, have you perfected your dad joke game yet? Like, what do you do to embarrass the kids?
I think I've been. The kids have known me to be, you know, an idiot since day one. I don't think they've ever seen me be serious. Maybe a handful of times, you know, in an emergency or something, you know. But most of the time, I'm pretty goofy all the time, and I joke around with them. And you know, I want to be a positive influence, but I also want to be, you know, a lot of fun. That's the kind of parent that I want to be, and whatever my role is or however they view me in their life, they have a mom and a dad, and now they have a Blake, and I want that to be fun for them, you know.
I'm sure it is. And on top of everything you've got going on between the bar, your final season of The Voice, you're also going back on tour. Back to the Honky Tonk Tour.
Yeah.
Kicking off in February. You've said it's going to be your greatest tour ever. How so?
Well, I think you're supposed to say that every time you go out and tour, aren't you? I guess, you know, for one thing, you know, we've really taken it up a notch as far as the production on this tour. I mean, without giving too much of it away, I guess I'm not. People buy tickets, they know what they're getting, but we actually, the stage is, you know, a bar. Like, people buy a bar stool to sit at the stage if you can get those tickets, and that's the one I would want if I'm going to a concert, to be, you know, right there in front of the stage, sitting on a bar stool. It's a really cool concept. It's something that I proudly stole from Kelly Clarkson. You know, she's busy with her show now, so she doesn't get to tour as much. So I'm stealing as much of her creative ideas as I possibly can, and I'm not looking back. I don't feel bad about it at all. Take that, Kelly. And we're bringing out Carly Pearce, who could not be more hot in country music right now. Her career is just blowing up. She's winning the awards. She's having hits on the radio, and it's fun to have known her, you know, when she first started, and now to bring her back out, that she's kind of in the thick of things, and, you know, playing at a different level, and watching her career grow. And then we have a guy named Jackson Dean that's coming out and opening the concerts. If he's not had his first #1 hit, he's just about to. He's got a big hit out there, and I haven't even met the guy in person yet. I've been following him a little bit on social media and listening to his music, and I like the kid. He's kind of got a little bit of an outlaw sound, and I love that.
Now, are Gwen and the family going to be joining you on tour?
Man, I hope so. It's always hard, you know, touring and school schedules never line up, but there's always a long weekend that we can find in the span of a couple of months that they can come out, and because I'd like to have the kids come out at least one weekend and see what we're doing this time. They usually come out at least once and see what's happening. And Gwen normally gets the chance to come out maybe a couple more times. So, but I don't have anything planned yet. You know, there's nothing that I would want more than to be able to say, you know, Blake Shelton featuring Gwen Stefani, because I know we would sell out every show 2 times over if I could do that. But it literally is a surprise for the audience and for me half the time when she comes out, because I don't know until a day or two beforehand if she's going to have the opportunity or not.